Wakanda forever!
I'm Renee Noor, model, creative director, founder of Global Women Wealth Warriors, Wellness Hub, and GW3 Magazine. I dedicated my life and devoted my career into helping women and girls to achieving their goals. I'm Renee Noor, model, creative director, founder of Global Women Wealth Warriors, Wellness Hub, and GW3 Magazine. I dedicated my life and devoted my career into helping women and girls to achieving their goals. I've been passionate about empowering women and enriching men. This opportunity in working with the Global Women Wealth Warriors have afforded me the pleasure of traveling outside of the country to be a support unit, most importantly, to help impact and change lives. Our ultimate purpose is to help others to become whole from finance, spiritual, mental, as well as physical. We know there are challenges and obstacles to get you to the next level. However, it's time for you to level up, boss up, and welcome to Power to Soar. Right now, I am on mute. I had to unmute myself, but welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Renee Noor, the founder of the Global Women Wealth Warriors. Not only am I super excited to be here, I'm so grateful that we have such dynamic guests that's going to be joining us for this Thursday. That's right. We call it Takeover Thursday. It's not only focusing on our health and our wellness. I'm Renee Noor, model, creative director, founder of Global Women Wealth Warriors, Wellness Hub, and GW3 that's taking place. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. Not only is it important for us to focus on our health and our wellness, but it's also important for us to keep being good stewards. That's right, good stewards to ourselves. You know, we are an amazing organization that's grateful to have phenomenal women from all around the world. But not only do we have phenomenal women, we also cater to our men and our young ladies. But this particular episode here is going to be so special to not only our health and our wellness, but I think we're going to have more of a sweet spot for our ladies. Today, I'm joined by two dynamic women, but the one that we're truly going to highlight is Dr. Tanjie Brewer. The first queen that we have here with us is not only Rebecca. Rebecca is not only a keynote speaker. Rebecca is a person that's helped businesses to be cultivated. She shared the stages with so many, from your Les Browns alongside with Grant Cardone, right there from one place to the other. But she's so powerful when it comes down to building stronger relationships with her business. So I would love to have Miss Rebecca to join us right now, Miss Rebecca E. Whitman. With Miss Rebecca E. Whitman, let's see. Let's have Miss Rebecca. There we go. Hey, Miss Rebecca, how are you doing today, beauty?
I am doing so great. It's so wonderful to be here. I'm part of your community. I discovered you. Should I mute myself on Clubhouse?
Mute yourself on Clubhouse and then unmute yourself live because we are live now with the GW3 Lunch and Soar. So if you can mute it.
So great to be here, Renee. I discovered your community a couple weeks ago, and I've just been mesmerized by the movement you're creating among women, empowering them in all areas of their life, financially, health, relationships, financially. It's just so exciting to be a part of this today.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm happy that you are joining us as well, Rebecca. And we both have a sweet spot. I think we also have what one of the ladies said earlier about cavities. I think we have a cavity for our Dr. Tanjie Brewer, right? Because she's such an amazing woman. She truly is. If you hear my voice and you're on YouTube, or if you hear my voice and you're right there in the Clubhouse, let's go ahead on and light up the Clubhouse with some black and white hearts. That's right, black and white hearts for the lady who's not only bridging the gap with bridging the gap with nutrition. She is a queen when it comes down to how she takes care of herself. She takes time to put more into herself, but you know what? She also knows how to bring the best out. She's helped people to lose over 69 pounds in one experience within itself. She's also have been able to empower us as a community. We get up early in the morning, and my goodness, I think she has an imaginary whip sometimes when she comes to the set. But she's a professional trainer. She's certified in so many different facets of her career. Most importantly, she's an author as well. Without further ado, let's bring up Dr. Tanjie Brewer. Dr. Tanjie Brewer, where are you, beautiful? There she is. Woo, woo, woo. Yes.
Hello, hello.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Everybody's clapping in the Clubhouse. Oh my goodness. They loving you. Woo, 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 woo. Yes.
And I love them.
You're in Chicago, Dr. Tanjie. And I'm like, wait, hold on. You cannot be from Chicago. Now, Dr. Tanjie, we're going to go into a deep dive with you because there's different layers that we bring about with you. And I see right now, sometimes technology have a way to just go bump, and we're just going to keep going on that technology, right, ladies? We know how it could change up on us in a heartbeat. You, my dear, I must say, where I wish I had a champagne glass, but you know what? You, alongside with Miss Jackie said we can't drink sugar right now, so I can't even go to my alcohol. So I have to drink water to raise up my glass of water to you because you are not only a phenomenal woman. Thank you, Miss Rebecca. Yes.
Raising one up for you.
I love it. You are the epitome of nutrition. You are the epitome of when it comes down to health and wellness. You've taken it to a whole nother level. How do you feel, superstar? How do you feel?
I feel amazing and vivacious. And Renee, I can totally say that is how I feel every single day when I get out of the bed. The energy is on 10, and I'm so grateful. That's how I feel too. I feel grateful because it is definitely a lifestyle for me. And Renee, I know it is a lifestyle for you too. So glad to be on this beautiful session. And welcome to everyone who's listening to as well. Glad that you're here and to bring your energy.
I love it. I love it. Well, not only we're looking to learn so much from you, like I shared with you, we're going to do a deeper dive with you as well, because every day it's like you always are charged up. Like you said, you stay on 10. I'm going to give you a little bit more, girl. You stay on 20, not 10. You stay on 20 because every time you come in, it's like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I mean, you just keep us moving. But I love the fact that you also have that deeper inner connection with who you are as well. That is so attractive, Dr. Tanjie. Share with us how were you able to come into your power? When did you know you had this power, this gift?
Sure. Renee, it started when I was a runner in high school, actually. I was a cross country and track runner. And I remember when I ate my first meal that changed the way that I ran my race. I was eating junk a lot. And then when I ate this particular meal, I actually won my race. And when I began to change, there were some days that led up to that, of course, but that really blew my mind. And that would change the way that I would eat. I was the one in the home that would be like, Mom, I'm not eating McDonald's. I'm not eating that. So it actually started a little when I was young, but I thought I was doing things the right way, but I wasn't. I was saying, okay, let me just get, low fat this. I was still eating cheese, pizza, thinking, okay, it didn't have meat on it. But fast forward, it would still stay in my heart as far as wellness when I had that first experience as a child. And how many of you know that a lot of times your purpose is awakened at a very young age? And I believe that I really understood who I was very early in life. But fast forward, when I would have the opportunity to run my own center at a Fortune 500 company, I was managing about 100 reps and managers too. I thought that I had like this dream job. And then my mother called me. And Renee, she said this. She said, I've been diagnosed with high blood pressure. And she was in South Carolina at the time. I was in Oklahoma. And I said, you know what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get you on the right track. She wasn't severely overweight or anything, but she wanted to do it the natural way. And then 2 days later, she had a pain in her chest and she went to the doctor. She stood in line. It was too long of a wait because it was around December the 15th of 2009. And so she left and she passed away 2 days later later in her sleep. And she did not stay to take care of herself. And I remember looking around and looking at people and wanting people to grow old and gray and to have the opportunity to pursue their purpose like I wish my mother did. And I then resigned from my company or from the job that I was working at the top of my game. And I started Stylish and Fit in 2010. And that is when I began to transform lives because I was like, wow, I want to see people be able to pursue purpose on a greater level.
Absolutely incredible. Not only we're grateful that you had to sometimes we have to go through those moments in life where we have sort of like a tragedy in order for us to find our purpose as well as our passion. And you've not only helped you to also transform who you are. I can relate to that as well. Growing up in New Orleans, Louisiana, we had the sugars, guys. Let me tell you, oh my goodness. If you remember back in the day, parents used to always cook with so much good ingredients, sugar on everything from greens. My mom used to cook greens with sugars in it and sugar with it as well. But she also had the challenge with her life as well. Her life was short-lived at the age of 52. And it's because of her health. It's because of her diet. And of course, when you're not healthy, automatically other illnesses and other diseases can easily attack you. Is that correct?
That's so true because there's an environment that everybody has. There's a certain environment of the body, which is called pH, and then there's a pH of the blood too as well. And so you want to keep that environment thriving. It's just like your home. You look around at your home and you say, okay, is my home full of clutter and mess? No, we want our home to be clean and inviting. The same thing with our bodies. We can invite health and wellness in our body, or we can create an acidic environment where we invite disease and malfunctions of this beautiful machine that God has given us. So the choice is ours. We can't control a lot of things in this world, but the very health direction of our life, we can control.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. You have this straight focus, laser focused vision about optimum health. And I love the fact that you've also put that twist with it, the personal fitness, style, and fitness, as well as helping people to really find their gifts of just loving themselves, because that's a personal development journey. Most women have a really hard time in just really understanding not only, their calling, but seeing themselves and appreciating who they are. You have been able to be blessed with that anointing, young lady. And I love the fact that you know how to make others feel so powerful, so powerful. Now, you are also a gorgeous mother. How have that been in your balance alongside with your business? Please share.
Oh, my son, I have a 13-year-old son. His name is Kagan. And when I had him, I can still remember that day so well. And it really launched me further into my purpose because I looked at those eyes and I'm like, wow, I want to make sure that I'm actually even more vivacious for you. And so what I began to do for him is at an early age, I really infused in him how it was important to take care of himself. And so parents would call me and they would say, you know what, this kid, where did you get him from? He actually asked me when I gave him pizza, where's a kale salad to balance out this pizza? He began to know balance at a very young age. And, today, Renee, he's the number one kid on his basketball team. He is a straight A student in honors classes. And I really do believe that had a lot to do with how I fed him. But not just that, the spiritual component. When he was very young, we made sure that we really instilled that into him as well. So that proper balance, the spiritual, the health, right? And of course, understanding who they are and being grounded at a young age is very important. So that is actually what causes them to want to take care of themselves even more.
Well, you know what? They always say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And I know for sure with your energy, and as he see his mother around, just bringing about, the vibration, of course, he's just going to be that keen student as well. Hearing your story, your journey from your mother. And again, we're so terribly sorry about that tragedy. However, it's great to see how you are helping to strengthen other women's lives. You are truly a vessel to help women to find their voices, their confidence, and just to really build them up. We are doing this 21-day challenge, not only with you, I know. Oh my goodness, with Dr. Jackie.
Jackie, say it.
Doctor, okay? Dr. Jackie, alongside with Dr. Tanjie, you guys have been able to wake up early. And you know what the greatest part about it? We sent out the message for those who want to join, let's go. And I was so grateful to see we had 22 to show up. And every morning we're getting more you know what, Renee, I'm so happy that we did this. It's helping them to truly love themselves again. Talk to us about the fact of that transformation, because that transformation is so, so real. And a lot of ladies don't really understand how important it is for us to stay at our peak at all times. So share with us, why is the transformation important? And then the maintenance part when it comes down to transformation, because that's the one, right, girl?
Yes, Renee. Yes. I love it. And I love how you flow and just understanding it all too, Renee. It's just such a pleasure to even have this conversation right now. But that word transformation is powerful because it's and think about the word transforming because it's constant, right? So wellness and fitness is not a destination. It is an intentional journey, not just a journey, but an intentional one. And we are always transforming. And what I would like to say is that even when you have a birthday, that's something that you should celebrate because each birthday, you're actually revealing another layer of purpose. So when you attach purpose to your power, and the power that you have is your ability to be intentional, then that word transformation, you actually can look forward to another year or to another birthday because you're actually going to be getting better. And that is how I approach the word transformation. Renee, it's looking at it as I'm continuously bettering myself as I get older. Some people think, oh my gosh, I'm getting older and you're holding on to this youth. No, there's so much that you get to reveal and unveil as you get older. And so then you talk about the maintenance part of it. What I will say, Renee, is that fitness is like finesse. Fitness is a cloak, a beautiful cloak that you wear daily. Nutrition is a beautiful garment that you wear daily. So it goes with you, right? And you don't just leave your clothes at home one day, right? When you go out every single day, you're going to look, for example, at your plate and you're going to say, how is this going to serve me? Because every time we eat, it releases a message in our body, either vitamin K, vitamin A, vitamin D, right? That's going to be released. And then there are times when we eat something and it's going to work against us, right? When we get dressed and we put on something like a power outfit, we're either going to make a deposit of a powerful presence, or you're going to make a deposit of someone who's timid, someone who is shy, someone who really doesn't appreciate the beauty that God has given them. And then when you don't take care of your fitness, right, you're going to show up as someone who is weak. Do you know that there was a study shown that the handshake The power of your handshake really describes a lot about your longevity, your grip, how strong the musculature body that you have is. The study said that 30 to 40% of people that actually lift weights and do strength training have a longer longevity of people that don't. And so that's really crazy cool. Those of you that are getting up at 5 a.m. woo, 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 and working on strength training, with the GW3 21-day challenge, you are getting stronger. You're saying yes to your future.
I love it. Can someone hashtag yes to our future? Because we already understand the importance of why we're doing what we're doing. A lot of people have been very comfortable. And I would say this, I'm sure Rebecca can relate to this. We have said, I've heard some of my friends say, oh, you know what? I still have baby fat. I'm like, well, how old is your child? 13? I'm like, 13? Okay, that's not baby fat. Or I'm still holding on to COVID. I'm like, well, COVID was almost like, of course, like 2 or 3 years, going up 2 years at least. Why do we always want to be in that comfort zone of holding on to weight when we know it's because we just need to move away from the table or shift what it is that we're eating? Why do we want to do that, Dr. Tanjie? Please share with us.
Because there is something that is tied to it. There is that release of dopamine that people just get comfortable in, right? The sugar that they've had for a while, sometimes it's attached to their grandmother, right? That peach cobbler. It is a generational thing that has happened. And unfortunately, if people have been raised in not taking care of themselves, eating these big meals with cornbread, collard greens, you killed the collards when you put those hog maws in there, right? Or smoked turkey necks, or
Don't talk about the chitlins, girl. Don't talk about those
chitlins. Oh my gosh. And so there's usually an attachment, Renee, that people make, maybe a family attachment. They're attached to that. So they begin to become comfortable. And when you're comfortable and you begin to say, okay, and you make excuses. And the excuse is, well, this is how I've always eaten. My grandmother was 75 and she ate like this and she lived long, right? But did they live long and strong? Did they have ailments? Did they have aches in their body and all of these things? So people it's a mindset, really, Renee. It's a mindset that you think about it. The mindsets. What are you allowing to set and saturate in your mind? Like that water, like that fruit that you put in your water. Have you ever made your fruit water instead of buying, water or fruit juice? When you let it saturate, same way with your mindset. When you allow strength and vigor and the nutrition part of things to just saturate in your mind, it sets in your mind, and then it becomes a beautiful mold for your life.
Wow. You're a powerful young lady. You are very powerful. And I don't care what no one say. You're 7 feet tall in any part of my world. Okay. Yes. As you're speaking about that mindset and how we're shifting, because a lot of people always are easier to not do as opposed to just do. I love the fact we get up early together, but what I truly appreciate, it helps to propel our day, keeping that momentum up. And what a lot of people don't even realize, how to challenge themselves truly can help them transform and change their life forever. We talk about that. It's not just the event or the experience right now, but it's about a lifestyle. A lifestyle, and how important it is for us to enrich our lifestyle so therefore we can improve the quality of life. And I wanted to talk about this fabulous book because, girl, that was a surprise. Everyone, please hashtag author Dr. Tanjie Brewer. That's right, I said it. Hashtag that. Let it go all throughout our hallways on the Clubhouse, as well as on Facebook, as well as right here on the YouTube as well. Beautiful. What inspired you to do this vegan book? And it's so beautiful. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. It was a beautiful surprise. Let me just share that with you. After we settled down from the Power to Soar Leadership Conference, woo, girl, I know, right? We rocked out. Oh my God, we had such a great time. And as I'm going through receiving gifts, thank you for not only thinking of us, but also that blessing. That book is a gift that will continue on giving. What was your inspiration for coming up with that incredible vegan book? Please share.
Okay. Well, beautiful lives like you, Renee, really. You know, I look at how you rock your purpose, I have to say, because you do it so beautifully well. And what I wanted to do was to see people begin to live vivaciously. And I wanted to serve life. That's why the name of the book is called Serving You Life. And I wanted to make recipes that make, I always say, your taste buds dance and your body too, right?
I love that. Everybody, your taste buds dance and your
And your
body
body
does
too.
too.
Because food should not be boring. And food is an incredible thing that God has given us on this earth. Of course, how things have been processed along the years, food has been made to actually can destroy as well. But if we understand the power and the beauty of food and putting the original things that were created, like the herbs and the spices, I can make collard greens that were made years and years taste incredibly good, but healthier than what you're used to, right? And so this cookbook is full of recipes that will continue to serve your body life long after you've eaten it. Obviously, we'll say that you're either going to eat something that is going to work in your favor, or when you eat, it's going to work against you long after you've eaten it. And so these recipes will show you, first of all, number one, is going to show you what it's serving you. So what I put, Renee, in the cookbook at the end of every recipe, it shows you what it's serving you. The vitamin, if it's full of vitamin D, the number one thing that you're going to get, vitamin A, vitamin K, because food is rated, number one, on an Indie score. So it is rated on its level of nutrient density. So for example, kale rates 1,000 on the Indie score for nutrient density. So when you go to a restaurant and you say, okay, instead of that romaine, can you switch it out for some kale? Then you just upped your energy currency, baby. So that is what I want to do. I'm like, let me serve you some life. Let me serve you some energy currency.
We're going to up our energy currency. Somebody needs to hashtag that as well. Let's put that out all the way for Dr. Tanjie. You know, Dr. Tanjie, not only have you just given us like the power to appreciate food again, right? We have been so, I would say, like you said, generational. You can't eat greens without having the fat in it, right? You can't eat greens without having those turkey necks and all those other great things. But it's just all about how we precondition our mind and how we reprogram the computer. Now, I was right there watching Miss Rebecca. She was already getting her action on today. She was doing her walking. And I just love that also about you, Rebecca. You stay active, you stay moving, and share with, ask Dr. Tanjie anything that you like in regard to what may be one of your deficiencies, because a lot of us realize also as we become wiser, you guys know I don't like saying the other word, we realize we cannot consume certain things. As we were growing up, we used to always consume milk all of the time. Didn't even realize that we weren't supposed to have milk, right? And then another thing, nuts. Sometimes with women, as we get wiser again, we are allergic to certain foods. So share with us, Rebecca, what are some of the challenges you may have, or even just some experiences you have seen through your transformation while you're getting in a better quality of life?
Yeah, so hi, Dr. Tanjie. It's so great to be on this show with you. Oh, I've been in the Health Network room with you, and I really love your opinions. So I was doing the keto thing, high fat, low carb, and what happened was I actually blew up my gallbladder. It got infected. It had to get removed. So I am working without a gallbladder now, and I know that puts more stress on the liver. So my question to you is, should I worry about how many supplements I'm taking? Will that be hard on the liver? What other advice do you have? Because so many people who are listening might have had, issues with high fat, low carb, or had a gallbladder issue or removal. Like, what advice can you give me about what to watch out for since I don't have a gallbladder?
Yes. Oh, Rebecca, first of all, wonderful to see you here shining and smiling and glowing because you're here, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you learned a lot from that. And these diets, a lot of these fad things out there, you have to be so very, very careful because wellness is truly a lifestyle. It's not something that's a quick fix. And a lot of those low, high fat, like Atkins diets, eating tons of meat, or even there was a shake diet that people were doing and they were losing weight, but it was still making their body very acidic, right? And so there's a balance that's needed. And you're probably realizing this now, Rebecca, that fat is important for the body, but there's a balance, and there's the healthy fats that like the avocados. And if you're not allergic to nuts, or the nuts and different things like that, it's the healthy fats. So what I would suggest for you, number one, you've got to get that water going all the time. Soon as you wake up in the morning, of course, 2 glasses of water and some lemon to make it alkaline, and just to push those toxins out.
How many ounces, Dr. Tanjie, of water in the morning should I consume?
So I would normally say about 2 glasses, if you look at it that way, just like 2 cups of water. That's what I would say.
16 to 20 ounces.
Or yeah, 16 to 20 ounces. And here's why. And then when you're drinking your water, Rebecca, you want to make sure that you are drinking water between each meal, because sometimes people are just all over the place with water. They're drinking during their meal too as well. So once you have your breakfast, right? And then during those 2 to 3 hours, you're not eating anything else. You're having your water. You're allowing that body to rest and digest and repair. Then you eat that mid-morning meal. Then you're having your water. Then you're going to eat a mid-afternoon meal, having your water, right? So you need to make sure that you're upping that. So that is number one, because many people just don't have enough water. And a lot of times people like with issues, liver issues, you have to even have more water, and watch the beverages that you're consuming. I'm not sure if you drink coffee or anything like that, but you really want to watch that. The next thing I would say is to ensure you're doing some things like juicing. Now, there's some things that are lighter on the digestive system too as well. And there's a repair that happens internally when you do something like a celery juice. Have you ever gone on a celery juice cleanse or anything? Have you ever done that?
I have, and I lived on the toilet.
But that's probably because a lot of people are backed up, right? Many people are carrying so much waste that is contributing to a lot of things like your liver and kidney, all of that, those diseases too as well. And I'm not sure if you've ever had a colonic, but I suggest those at times if people are really backed up. But you can attest if you're having 3 to 4 bowel movements a day, because that's important too as well, right? So you want to make sure that you're properly eliminating and that you're getting fiber into as well. Now, when you're juicing, that's bioavailable. It's going to hit the body. But when you do a smoothie, then that's going to get that fiber in there. But it's also going to be a little more gentle on your system. Have you been juicing lately? Are you doing?
I do
smoothies or blending your smoothies rather.
I have been blending my smoothies with lots of good fruits and vegetables and vegan protein powder.
Okay. And then you want to watch the protein powder as well. Make sure, there's no soy and those things in there. Look at the sugar. And also you want to make sure that you have more of the greens in there, maybe some Swiss chard. Of course, you can even blend your collards and your dandelion greens. That's going to be good for you too as well. So make sure that you have more of the vegetables and the fruit in there. Sometimes you can use coconut water. You don't always need a dairy-free beverage. But those things will help you be a lot more gentle on your system and do some cleansing. So like the liver cleansing and different things like that, but a good detox and just making sure that you're doing more juicing, smoothies that's going to be more gentle on your system.
With the celery juice, Dr. Tanjie, do you recommend that right after the detox water in the morning?
That would be actually great. Now, pure celery juice, they do say like adding so many things, you don't get the best benefit of the celery juice. So it's better to just do the celery juice as well. And then you want to have, your breakfast. Of course, you're going to have something that is more balanced for your breakfast. So maybe you could do some avocado toast with a piece of Ezekiel bread, right? With some arugula, with some arugula, some fresh basil, some tomatoes, and maybe some pumpkin seeds too as well.
So you think gluten is okay?
No, gluten-free. Okay, well, no, for you, let me just say, all right, now let's talk about gluten-free. Now I'm gluten-free. I've been gluten-free for over 17 years, right? And I'm not celiac. I don't have celiac disease. I'm not gluten intolerant. It's just because I've studied food for so long. And once I removed gluten, I didn't have to burp anymore. It's not cute for a girl to burp, right? I used to have to have a little but that used to happen. But when I removed gluten, the air that would get stuck in my chest absolutely stopped. So a different alternative to a good bread is Ezekiel bread because it is flourless and it's sprouted grains, though it is not gluten free. So
Right.
I don't do Ezekiel bread. For those that do breads and you want those whole grains, that's great. Are you able to do gluten, or have you removed that?
I try to do gluten free. I love Ezekiel and I love Dave's Killer Bread. Those are both great, but I try to do gluten free.
Well, that's excellent. If you're there, Rebecca, where you're doing gluten-free, I say high five to you and continue to keep that going. There are some other gluten-free options that you can do where it pertains to the avocado toast, but good for you. But just watch the gluten-free, because just because it's gluten-free doesn't mean it's healthy, right?
So if it's just regular white bread gluten free, it might not necessarily be healthy.
Absolutely. There are so many things lurking in those gluten-free breads that are not healthy at all. There's one that I can give you. I can't think of the brand at the top of my head, but if you send a message to me, I'll make sure I get that to you. That's a bit better than the other ones that are out there.
I'm also going to DM you for your smoothie recipe. It sounds like you got the smoothie thing wired.
I love a good smoothie because, like I said, you're getting the fiber and it's bioavailable, so it hits that body very quickly as well.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love what we did right prior to the 21-day challenge. We did a fast, right? We really start taking those layers of all the unwanted items in our digestive system, so therefore we could just start preparing ourselves for the journey. Rebecca, I pray that all the ingredients that Dr. Tanjie just poured into you, I mean, my first thing is courage. You know, unfortunately, we go through those moments. You're not the only lady that go through those yo-yo diets, you know, from, like you said, the Stillman diet alongside with the, what was that? The cayenne pepper with the lemonade diet. Guys,
Maple syrup.
I've done that also. Yes, I did. And I will say this, with the Stillman diet, I got down to a size 4, Tanjie. Got down right back to a size 4. I did it for 60 days. 60 days. And talking about thin, it was one of those moments that I had to prepare for a photo shoot, and everything that I did was all lean meat and everything. And I definitely went to that direction. And oh my goodness, but then, like you said, it wasn't something that you can maintain because you have to start eating again, and then some things go out of alignment. But one of the greatest things that we incorporate while we're doing our 21-day is not only the foods, it's the activities, but also the proper rest. Let's talk about that proper rest. How important it is for you not only to get your proper sleep, but also, I think sometimes it's important to also do it at the same time every night. How important is that, Dr. Tanjie?
Yes, I always will say that our body is a beautiful machine and we have to treat it as such. So not only should we have an eating schedule, right? A workout schedule, but also a sleeping schedule. Your body gets on a rhythm. And I always will say this too, that purpose should awaken you. A lot of times you don't need an alarm clock, because to be awakened abruptly out of a rest is not always good as well. So if you're going to do an alarm clock, make sure that it's gentle, that the music is light, but you really do want to get 7. I know you're going to throw tomatoes at me and say, I don't need 7 hours, at least 7 to 8 hours. I mean, of course, 8 is optimal. And as you know, kids need even more, 10 to 13 or more hours when they are growing and when they're developing, because sleep and rest is so essential to the body. And when your body is resting and digesting, it is repairing itself, right? It is eliminating things. And you don't want to abruptly stop that process. And you want to look at your rhythm. Are you able to sleep all through the night? Are you waking up many times to use the restroom? A lot of these things really affect and determine if you're walking in good health. You should be able to walk where your sleep, or rest rather, where your sleep is not interrupted. You should not be eating, say if you're going to bed at 9 to 10, you want to stop eating about 7 o'clock at night. You want to make sure that you're not eating anything or eating a heavy meal before you go to bed, because your body has to work hard to digest that, right? Your heart is working overtime. And so getting the proper rest is going to help heart issues. It's going to help how you function throughout the day. Everybody can reset that clock. And I would just encourage you to make sure if you're waking up early in the morning now, which many of us are because we're doing this 21-day challenge. So I even have to say, okay, I'm going to go to bed now at 10 when sometimes I can go to bed a little later because my body would always wake me up at about 5:36. I mean, that was my wake up calendar clock time. So I never needed an alarm clock. And so my body just wakes me up at that time. Then that's when I go through my meditation, reading the word, my confessions, all of those things to gently awaken my body. But yes, Renee, rest is paramount.
You know, I love what you said in regarding to not only is rest important, the timing, but also, you know, what most people probably don't understand, that's like the time when your body really starts burning the energy, the fat, as well as you start losing weight while you're asleep. And everyone know if you call me after 9:30, you can forget about it. I will not be able to hold a conversation with you. And if so, it's going to be very slurry words is going to be said because my body shuts down. I have an alarm, Dr. Tanjie, at about 8:30, it goes off. It gives me a heads up. It's time for you to go to bed in the next 2 hours. So you need to bring everything to a calming halt. And I mean that truly just a calming halt. And, you know, it has truly helped me tremendously. I'm 52 and I love being 52, baby. Okay. And as we continue on with our 21-day challenge, I would say this, we've got to be the queens of challenges, okay? We started off with the 90-day challenge, the 14-day challenge, and now we're on this 21-day challenge. It's just really getting us on that regimen. You got to keep challenging yourself. You're challenging yourself. And we're not doing this for Dr. Tanjie. We're not doing this for Miss Jackie. We're not even doing this for Renee. It's for yourself to get on a healthier lifestyle. And I mean, thank you. I can't say that enough, beautiful. How much we have truly appreciate all of the sacrifices, as well as just you up in there busting those moves, girl. You're making me want to start dancing all over again, you know?
And Renee, I want to come and jump through the screen and do the little, what is it, the butt walk? Like you just, because I just
you have it down to a T. I'm like, wait, how did she do that again? Oh, you have even the young millennials is like, how old is she? I'm like, don't worry about that. She got it going on. And that's what we want women to have, that confidence about themselves. You know, when you look good, when you know, your body's all in alignment, your health is in alignment, you can't help but glow. And that's the most sexiest thing is your confidence. Yes. That's powerful to have your confidence, ladies. So on hashtag, I want my confidence. I have my confidence because it's my power. It is indeed our power. So, you know, with some of these yo-yo diets, how can we truly just not even focus on those anymore? You know, I want you to kind of like talk about some more of those recipes that you have in your book. What are like your top 5 recipes that you just truly enjoy preparing? Even because, like I said, you're so descriptive, you're so colorful, you have so much energy. And I always say this, when you have a true passion for what you're doing, that's a love that no one can take away from you. And I see how much love you have for what you do. So share with us, what is like your top 5 favorite recipes out of all?
So top 5 favorite. I have to say that's why we connected, Renee, because I love how colorful you are and your energy too as well. I just love it. All right. So my top 5 recipes, here they are. So number 1, I love this. It's called the Beauty and the Beet. So the Beauty and the Beet salad. I love it because it infuses a green that many people feel that's maybe a little tart, which is arugula. But arugula is bursting with flavor, but also great vitamins and that you need as well. So arugula, and then there's beets. And some people just may not love beets very much, but beets, you all, it's incredible because it actually electrifies the heart. And so I love beets, and I love to give people a reason to want to try a vegetable. And so there's beets, and then there's pistachios, which are the nuts that many people like, but make sure that they're raw. And then there's pears, because who thought of putting pears in the salad, right? And then I made a really wonderful dressing one time that I wanted to put into this cookbook because I absolutely love it. It's with pure balsamic vinegar, but you have to get a good quality balsamic that is not infused with a lot of alcohol. You want to make sure it's from Modena, Italy, but it should be a little thicker. So you get your pure balsamic, and you're going to get some lemon, fresh lemon, And then you're going to get a little bit of honey, and you can put a little olive oil. It's a healthy fat if you'd like. And you're going to mix that together. But once you put it on this salad, it is a bursting with flavor. It's something about the crunch with the sweet and the arugula that's got that powerful little flavor to it that it just pairs to make something great on your tongue. Then the next thing I love is a black bean salad, because you can get everything that you need in this one salad. I love color. Like Renee said, it's something about looking at your plate and seeing it infused with color. So black beans, because we need that protein. Then there's mango. Then there's avocado. Then there's red onions. Then there's cilantro. Then there's red, yellow, and green bell peppers. And then there's fresh limes that I squeeze in there too as well. Then there's tomatoes. So I do this mixture. And when people come over my home and they are used to having, like, say, a Chipotle bowl, that Chipotle bowl, you all, has nothing on this black bean bowl, okay? Because Chipotle is, you get, even if you get a veggie bowl, it's like 3,500 milligrams of sodium, more than 2 days or more of the sodium that you need. But what happens when you do that? It's going to make you retain water. So this particular recipe, after you make that black bean mixture, so I get some rice, you make some cilantro brown rice, and I put the brown rice at the bottom. Then I put this wonderful mixture at the top. Then I crumble something wonderful on the top too as well. That gives it a little bit of a crunch, and many people love it. And then I make an avocado dressing that drizzles on top, and it is just dynamic. And then there is a breakfast that I love. It is there's pancakes. Many people love pancakes. Well, I make these pancakes that are gluten-free out of garbanzo bean flour. And they're high in protein. And so it's garbanzo bean flour, but then I make this mixture. It's with banana, it's with almond milk, it's with some cinnamon, and a little bit of baking soda that goes into the almond, or you can use almond flour, but the garbanzo bean flour. But you want to mix this in the blender, the mixture. Then you pour that into this mixture, and it makes a lovely pancake with this banana flavor. And I put my strawberries and blueberries and all of that on top, which is just dynamic. And then I make a veggie lasagna that many people love lasagna. And I love to have people go, oh my gosh, this is lasagna. Is this really healthy for me? And I love it with some lentil noodles that are like the lasagna noodles. You don't even have to bake them, but they're made with lentils. And I love to put some fresh basil. Now, stop using, you don't always just have to use the dried basil. Those things are fine, but use fresh basil and fresh oregano and wash it off and layer it in your lasagna. So I like to layer my fresh herbs. And then you want to put your squash and your zucchini too. I layer those two as well. And then there's an almond ricotta that's there instead of the dairy. And that is another one that's bursting with great flavor. I put some microgreens on top, and it's just beautiful to the eye too as well, because I want to make sure you know that food should also look just as great. It should look gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to give you a drink, and because we said 5 recipes, right? So let's go to a smoothie that I absolutely love, the smoothie, because it's like a milk chocolate shake. So what I use is sun butter. And it's kind of like an almond butter. Many people know like the peanut butter, but it's made with seeds, which are sunflower seeds. And make sure you get the one that says no oil. It's just pure organic sunflower seeds. Then you're going to put your spinach in there too as well. Great iron. Then I use cacao powder, CACAO. And it's kind of like a cocoa, but it's like chocolate, but it has magnesium and iron for women. So you're going to get that in there too as well. Then I use a frozen banana. So freeze your bananas. Even if they're going bad, freeze them, because I'm going to give you that creaminess to it, right? And then you're going to put your beverage. If you're going to do an almond milk, make sure it's free of sugar and carrageenan as well. And make sure it doesn't have a lot of those gums in it. But then I blend that, and it's like the most delicious shake. And I put a little avocado in there sometimes too as well. So it's a heavy duty shake. But those are my top 5. Which one, Renee? Top 5. Which one that sounds most delicious to you? I want to know.
I'm all over the smoothie. I cannot wait to try it.
You had me at hello with the salad. I'm a huge salad girl. And yes, I do. I love my salads very colorful as well. So I do the pears, I do the blueberries, as well as the arugula. Oh my goodness, cacao. Ah, one of our sponsors love giving us those little cacao chips that are just so yummy. So next time we do our event, we're going to definitely have some more of those. But I was just like, you're making me so hungry over here. Please, guys, go ahead on, whether you're in the clubhouse, whether you're watching us on YouTube or right there on Facebook, please put your favorite recipe. Put your favorite recipe that Dr. Tanjie just poured in. We want to read what was your favorite takeaway from that particular piece, because baby, she was just like, woo, 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 rolling them out. And yes, I would say, like I said, I love doing pretty produce, colorful. If my salad is not colorful, it's just not the same. And when I had gone home to New Orleans, my niece, she's every bit of 8. She's like, Auntie, I don't do salad. I'm like, what? We're going to have a salad. She's like, but I don't eat salad. When I got through with putting all the beautiful colors, and she was right there with me, chopping up all the ingredients. We had the blueberries, we had the arugula, we had everything there. She was like, oh my goodness. She now eats salad, guys. Now she eats salad, because if you just do a boring salad, I too wouldn't want to just have a boring salad. But what you are pouring out, Miss Dr. Tanjie, that makes us want to dive into food. It makes it more interesting and more alive. Like you said, your food is coming to life. And oh my goodness, we have to do something special for the end of our 21-day challenge. On that 21-day challenge, I'm already challenging all the warriors to bring out their favorite dish, their favorite healthy dish. Because right now, every day we're posting up these dishes. So whatever your favorite dish is, we're going to come together and we're going to not only share our favorite recipes, but it's going to be great to see us in action. I would love that, Dr. Tanjie.
Yeah. Such a great idea. I love it too as well. It's going to be
Oh my
fun.
goodness. So let's see what some of these ladies have been saying, and the gents, because we have the men and the women that's been chiming in with us right there on the clubhouse. Guys, oh my God. If you have if you like to pour into Dr. Tanjie, go ahead on and start speaking right now. I'm going to go ahead on into the clubhouse. If you guys can hear my voice, what is a question that you have, Dr. Tanjie? This is a great time to ask her. Say your name and go right on into the question.
Dr. Tanjie, it's Linnell Burns. Just wanted to thank you for all of your tips and tricks and recipes and just who you are. Thank you so much. My question is, when we are buying the foods and the things that you are recommending, do you recommend for us to go to a particular store to get them, or because I've started going to Trader Joe's here and also Whole Foods. So is there one that you would prefer over the other, or it doesn't really matter? I'll go ahead and mute myself out.
Great question.
Great question. And Linnell has been showing up and rocking it in this challenge. Can we give it up?
Yes. Linnell,
love it.
I'm getting my sexy back.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, and I love it. What a great question. And I actually frequent both of those two as well. And what you want to pay close attention to, I would say, even Linnell, even more so than the grocery stores, it's what's called, there's a dirty dozen, right? You want to look at what you're buying that's organic versus conventional. There was a time that Whole Foods, it's different now because Amazon has purchased it. So I'm not sure where they are now, but I would always frequent Whole Foods more. And here's why. It's because Whole Foods, they have a relationship with their farmers and their buyers. And so I don't know if you remember when Listeria broke out at, say, Walmart. It's because they're using different farmers and all of that. And so at Whole Foods, they even go through a different inspection process. Like, say, for example, too, if an organic apple is on top of the conventional apples, they would consider that no longer organic. All right. And so I would always frequent Whole Foods more because they really went through a better process of ensuring organic and having a relationship with their farmers. So, for example, in order to be organic as a farmer, you have to grow your produce for 5 years. It has to be organic. So even if they go and they inspect your farm and they find out that at year 3, it's not organic, you got to start back at year 1, right? So organic is definitely different than that of conventional. And there are items I would say, Linnell, that you want to look at on the Dirty Dozen. So for example, there are blueberries are the Dirty Dozen, apples are the Dirty Dozen, sweet potatoes. So you want to make sure that you're getting those items organic, right? And there's some things that you can look call like the Clean 15. You can look at as buying them conventional if you're looking at that. But I do like both of those stores. Linnell, there's certain things at Trader Joe's. For example, you can get organic cacao powder for $3.99 at Trader Joe's, and it's $12.99 at Whole Foods. Now, some of you, I know you have your, even if it's easy for you to just buy, but we don't want to waste money, right? We'd rather give that to the homeless or something like that. So I am a budget shopper too. I love when people come into the wellness space and they go, oh my gosh, I didn't know that you could actually shop healthy on a budget, because many people have said Whole Foods, whole paycheck. And I disagree with that. I definitely believe that you can eat healthy on, and on a good budget. So you can definitely shop at both of those places. And there's great things at both of them, Linnell. So it just depends on what your grocery list is. I love to show people all of the sweet spots to go. And sometimes I go to even 3 grocery stores at one time because I like what they all have to offer. Does that answer your question?
Did that answer your question, Linnell?
Girl, yes, above and beyond, Dr. Tanjie. I just need you to drop the name of that book, please, so I can go get it. Thank you.
And the name of your book, and how can they find your book, Dr. Tanjie? On Amazon?
Yes, it's on Amazon. You just type in Serving You Life by Tanjie, Tanjie Brewer, and it will come right up.
Absolutely awesome. Thank you, Linnell. Who else have a question right there in the clubhouse? Go ahead on and say your name and pour into the conversation.
It's Jackie. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's Jackie.
I have one question for Dr. Tanjie. Girl, why are you so good?
I know, right? She was great.
That's all of you all. I love it.
Yes.
I really enjoyed this whole segment. I mean, I didn't expect anything less than you to drop some gems. So it was so amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Tanjie, and Queen Renee for hosting her today.
Absolutely. We love you, Miss Jackie. We love you. Yes. Who else have a question in the clubhouse? Guys, this is the time.
Everyone.
Yes. Go ahead, Miss Tanya.
Renee for such a healthy segment, and Dr. Tanjie, we love you. You're
Love you.
so healthy. You just bring it real to us. My question is, when it comes to juicing, especially celery, can we drop something in the celery or add something else?
Yes. Absolutely. Now, there's a lot of things that are a little tart, and you want to make your juices flavorful. And what I love green apples. They're a little lower on the glycemic index. So you can do a green apple that's going to give you that, make it more sweeter. Do the celery, and I love to put a little ginger in there too as well. And so, yes, you can absolutely add more things. You can even do some carrots in the celery. You probably heard of the carrot celery juice. You can have fun and blend to make it more flavorful, indeed.
I love that. Great question, Miss Tanya. Thank you. Yes. Who else may have a question? Got time for one more question right there in the clubhouse.
Thanks, Renee. This is Janet.
This is Janet.
Thank you so much for all the value you just poured to us today on our health. I'm learning all this stuff, and I do, just like Linnell said, I need to get that book as well. And I was looking for it. And if somebody could put it in the chat, what was the name of the book again, Dr. T?
It's called Serving You Life.
Oh, Serving You Life. Thank you.
Yes.
And one more question. I don't want to put it out there because I'm trying to get it out of my head because the mind and the heart connection heals the body. But when it comes to arthritis and joint issues, there's certain foods you can't eat, like nightshade foods. Anything you recommend? And I've gone gluten-free, sugar-free, all that. But is there anything that you recommend for people with joint issues? Thank
Yes.
you.
Oh, yes. And hi, Janet. And I wanted to say, woo, and Tanya too. Tanya, like you guys are just powerhouses in this community, and it's so wonderful to hear your voices. So, Janet, what you can do, number one, inflammation is huge. You want to make sure that you are eating foods that are going to help you with that inflammation. And one of the things are turmeric or curcumin. It's that yellow, you guys have seen it. Turmeric is great. You know, you can get it in the root form. I love it in the root form because it's all pure natural. You can get it from Whole Foods. So it's a little skinny, looks like a mini skinny, shriveled up sweet potato, but like this small. And that's turmeric. Or you've seen it in the powder form. A lot of times I drink it as a tea. I drink it almost every single day. Turmeric is one of the powerful ingredients that you can get to help you with inflammation. A lot of times, a lot of joint issues are stemming from inflammation, and inflammation is the root of many diseases. So you want to make sure that you're eating anti-inflammatory foods. Go and get those blueberries. Make sure you have those power greens, Janet, too, as well. Like I mentioned, the dandelion greens that you haven't probably had in a little while. Watercress. You want to do your fresh kale, spinach, all of those things. And so you want to look at that. There's also a supplement called NAC. Okay, NAC. Look that up as well. That can help you too with joint issues, and make sure that you're doing your stretching. But everything synergistically works together. So, Janet, have you been doing turmeric?
I have, Dr. Tanjie. I hope you don't mind. Ever since I met you, just Dr. T just came to me, and I hope you don't mind I call you that, Dr. Tanjie.
Oh.
But yes, I am all about turmeric and anti-inflammatory foods for sure. But then sometimes it's like, man, what can I eat? I'm eating the same things all the time, it seems like. And then my family's all, you don't get enough protein, you don't get enough food, you know.
Well, with that protein, Janet, I would say you want to definitely do your legumes too. I'm not sure if you're doing lentils. Lentils are a complete protein. They're one of the top ones I would definitely suggest. Put some garlic in there. That's going to help too with inflammation when you're doing your lentils. There's the black beans, there's kidney beans, there's garbanzo beans, there's navy beans. There's tons of different beans that you can do to get your protein. And you are right. You do need that protein. There's also other things that you can get from your seeds, right? And your nuts too as well. Quinoa has protein as well. And so just make sure that you're getting your hemp has protein and that you're eating balanced. There's so many things that you can awaken your taste buds to, Janet, that it doesn't have to feel like you're eating the same thing over and over again. I want you to make a list of every vegetable that you can even think of and make that whole list of all the proteins and grains. And then you're going to go and you're going to highlight the ones that you don't eat on a weekly basis. And you will be very shocked to see how many vegetables you're leaving out and how you can begin to diversify your meals.
Wow.
Woo,
I know, right? Woo, woo.
Yes, I will make that list. Thank you so much.
I'm a guilty person. I do not like beans. Growing up in New Orleans, every Monday was red beans and rice day. Red beans and rice in New Orleans. And still till today, I can't do beans. That's one of the proteins that I shy away from. So what are some of the other healthy proteins? You know, of course, I probably boil my eggs in certain areas like that. But what are some other proteins that we can take if we don't like beans?
All right. So one of the things I will say is that getting your amino acids are important, your aminos. Now, there's a lot of studies that are shown that your body even makes its own as well, if you're getting all of those things in. And so just make sure that you're doing that. And I heard you speak of sea moss, which helps you get those minerals and keeps you balanced. If you're doing meat, I know we're not doing meat right now. And I just want to just say, if people are doing meat, if you go back to meat, make sure it's lean, and make sure you're getting your salmon, your fresh wild caught salmon, make sure the meats are free of nitrates and all of those things. But if you're plant-based like I am, then you really want to look at getting enough of course, those vegetables. You're taking your B12 as well. If you feel like, okay, I'm plant-based now, I'm not eating meat, but I may not be getting as much protein as I need to. And Renee, your nuts and your seeds, your sunflower seeds, your pumpkin seeds, your walnuts, right? Your almonds, all of those things are important. And then your pea protein, they have different proteins like your pea protein now. I mentioned your hemp protein too as well. That's good. And then quinoa is full of protein. Many people don't even know that potatoes have protein in them too as well. So just make sure that you're getting about a fist size of protein at your meals. Now, Renee, have you tried the lentils, or is that something they're a little different than the red beans? Or you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not doing lentils either.
I've had lentils before. They're okay, but they're not like my favorites. But you know, you mentioned nuts, and I love nuts. I get that from my dad. Every night he used to always have, like he said, a fist size of nuts before he went to sleep. And one of the other things, you know, alongside the bed is always like a glass of water. You know, I think it's so important to have, like you said, 2 glasses of water before you go to sleep, because a lot of people don't realize that's where most heart attacks take place, in the, you know, in the middle of the night while you're sleeping. So just having that water probably can help tremendously, you know, help with digesting food that's kind of like sitting right there on your chest as well. But yeah, I love the nuts. Lentils, not so much. Beans, you can forget about it. Even when I mean, beans and onions, and that's something I do not like. Fresh onions, out the door. So I'm kind of like one of those girls. I have to work on certain things. But truly, I will work on more of the, like you said, walnuts, love pecans. I pushed aside the peanuts. What did you say?
Oh yeah, yes. I was just saying, throwing quinoa out there as well.
Yes, well, I'll start doing a little bit more of that as well. Truly, I like my boiled eggs. I'm sorry, you know, I love the boiled eggs on the salad. Like today, you know, for breakfast, Janae, she had the protein, she had the potatoes, and I just had the eggs. I just love eggs. I'm an egg eater, you know, from a boiled egg to just an omelet, a vegetable omelet. That's what I wound up eating today, and that's just like was satisfying. And so I guess it's just really what you were sharing with us before is how we look at food, pay attention to the ingredients. I think what is really cool too for us to start inventory what it is that we're taking in, what it is that we're consuming every day. And like, I love the fact that you said, write down some of the vegetables, and you'll be surprised at the vegetables that we haven't even explored yet. Right, guys? I mean, you were just dropping the mic on so many different ingredients, but making it really colorful as well. So I think that'll be a great challenge for us at the end of our 21-day challenge, for us all to come together with our favorite dishes, the healthiest dishes, and the most colorful dishes should get a prize. Let's do that. I like giving gifts away too. So let's figure out what we could do for those who have the most colorful as well as the most creative, healthy dish. We'll probably give you guys a nice surprise. Dr. Tanjie, oh my goodness, guys, have you felt today have brought you value? Please, let's put some red hearts in the chat. You know, Dr. Tanjie, not only have you brought a plethora of information, quality conversation, but most importantly, given us a lot more to really pay attention to when it comes down to not only our nutrition, our health and wellness, but also just how we could stay more active. And I love what you said when it came down to whole food. Yes, one bag of groceries sometimes is what, $200 in most cases, right? Because it is. But you know what? It is what it is. You know, sometimes you have to pay a little bit more for health, and that's nothing wrong with that at all, because it's going to be a sacrifice. It's truly going to be a sacrifice, whether you pay for it now or you pay for it later. And I'm just so grateful to have you. I told you I was going to be so excited. I didn't want to let you go, but I know.
I love this too, Renee. I just want to say to you, Renee, I love your spirit. And you know, when deep calleth unto deep, I can feel the spirit of what you are doing in the community. And I love it so much. And I automatically connect. It was like that spark that was just there. And I want to just continue to salute you as a phenomenal woman that you are. This 21-day challenge, all the women that are a part of it, this is electric. And I love it. And I'm glad to be a part of this amazing experience. And thank you for having me. This has been so fun. Like this is you. It's been so fun.
It really has been. It really has been. You know, well, I'm grateful for you alongside with Dr. Jackie. We already gave her name, Dr. Jackie. And we're looking forward to seeing all of the beautiful ladies after day 22. And you already know, like, what we started with our 90-day challenge. Then we jump right into a 14-day challenge. And this challenge right here, I know for sure it's truly brought us together even closer because of the accountability partners and how we're showing up every day for each other. So big hearts goes out to you, Dr. Tanjie. And I would love for you to close this out with some words of wisdom, as well as how people can get in contact with you. Take it away.
Sure. All right. So the words of wisdom, just remember that you have to be intentional so that you can be dimensional. And also that your plate, it should reflect your mandate, which is the calling on your life. You have to always know that your energy is required for your next level. So I get a little snooty around food. I want you to get snooty too. It's not like you can't have this. It's like, it can't have me, baby, because I am worth so much. And you are an incredible vehicle that has no price. So what are you going to pour into this vehicle, from your thoughts to the relationships to the food, the choices that you make? Make sure that they are intentional so that you can continue to be dimensional. And I would love to continue to stay connected with you. Of course, you can get my cookbook on Amazon. You just type in Serving You Life by Tanjie Brewer. It will come up. I'm on Instagram under stylish and fit _. Would love to continue to serve you life there. And of course, you'll see me in Clubhouse too. And of course, in the GW3 community. It's been a pleasure serving today. You guys continue to rock your purpose with vitality.
Absolutely incredible, guys. Let's give it up again for Dr. Tanjie if you're right there in the Clubhouse. And you know what? We're going to return back into the Clubhouse because I already know we got a couple of more questions to answer. But it has been a true pleasure having you here this Thursday afternoon for not only really focusing on that nutrition, that health and wellness, but truly keep having us to keep inspiring to become our better version of ourselves each and every day. So thank you, Dr. Tanjie. We look forward to seeing you right back into the Clubhouse. Bye for now, guys. Bye. Thank you. We got a hot mic in the Clubhouse, and it has been a truly honor to have the one and only Dr. Tanjie here with us. And we're going to return this presentation right back into the Clubhouse. Thank you guys for now.